Hi, and welcome to the Packer TV. I'm Dean Cooper.
And I'm Tamara Furlansky. Today we take you beyond the headlines of the Packer.
It seems buying local has a new twist in Louisiana thanks to the new Farm of Origin law.
And a little later, we'll tell you more about the law and what the Packer editorial board thinks of it.
Here's what else is coming up.
Strawberries show increased value.
We preview the PMA Food Service Conference.
And we find out Quebec's produce outlook.
For the first time ever, strawberries, not leaf lettuce, were the most valuable crop in California's Monterey County last year. The annual crop report from Monterey County Agricultural Commissioner Eric Laritzen found the value of the county's strawberry crop rose 22% from $619 million in 2008 to $756 million in 2009. The value of the leaf lettuce crop rose 13% from 2008 to 2009, but it wasn't enough to keep the #1 spot. Continuing a trend, the value of the Monterey head lettuce crop dropped 5%. Taken all together, however, the Monterey lettuce crop at $1.2 billion was far more valuable than the strawberries.
The stars are aligning to get more fresh produce on the plate. That's the message the Produce Marketing Association is sending for its annual food service conference and exposition happening July 30th to August 1st in Monterey, California. The event opens with a panel on the initiative to double the use of produce in food service by 2020. During the conference, a trio of celebrity chefs will participate in a discussion on produce and cooking styles and then host culinary demonstrations. The chefs are Rick Bayless, chef and owner of Frontera Grill, and Topolo Bompo in Chicago, William Bloxham Carter, executive chef at Playboy Mansion West in Los Angeles, and Robert Danhai, founder of Chef Danhai and Company and PMA's consulting chef. The Packer editor Greg Johnson and food service writer Ashley Bentley will be at the event, so you can look forward to coverage here on the Packer TV.
Advocates of the Produce Traceability Initiative say companies who meet its requirements will reap benefits such as increased efficiencies. Pilot projects will help reveal best practices associated with adding human-readable information and barcodes featuring global trade item numbers and lot numbers on all cases. Brian Silberman, president and CEO of the Produce Marketing Association, says the focus has been on traceability, but the fact of the matter is that putting GTIN labels and coding on a box are the building blocks for supply chain efficiencies. How much a produce company can improve its efficiencies as a result of the pilots could depend in part on how sophisticated its traceability systems already are.
With a new slot as part of the Leamington Fair, the 4th annual Who's the Hottest Tomato competition pits southwestern Ontario greenhouse vegetables against each other for top honors. However, this year, the event, held June 18th to 20th, wasn't just for tomatoes. Pure Hot House Foods and Clifford Produce Sales were the overall winners of the new The Perfect Pepper and the Coolest Cucumber competitions, respectively. For the 3rd year in a row, Mastronardi Produce took home the trophy for Best Overall Tomato. The vegetables in each category were judged by local grocery stores, chefs from nearby restaurants, a Windsor Star newspaper food writer, as well as local companies, including H.J. Heinz.
A mild winter and an unusually early spring has Quebec growers celebrating as they planted their first crops 2 weeks earlier than usual under sunny skies. The season so far is a 180-degree turn from last summer, which began with a killer frost in mid-May and ended with so much rain that many growers were forced to leave 250,000 boxes of broccoli in the fields, while peppers never had a chance to ripen. The first Quebec strawberries were harvested on May 24th, making it the earliest harvest in at least 30 years. On the marketing front, a new Buy Local billboard series as part of the Quebec Produce Growers Association's $500,000 campaign features, among others, father and son growers Guillaume and Gabriel Henry.
Under a new Louisiana law, all strawberries sold in the state, including those grown in Florida and California, must have a Farm of Origin label on consumer packages. Louisiana Agriculture Commissioner Mike Strain says this came from the strawberry farmers. With this buy fresh, buy local push, when our consumers buy berries, we want them to have the option of buying fresh and local Louisiana berries. However, many see this leading to packing house headaches, where shippers would have to tailor labeling and packing systems just for this one state. Ted Campbell, Executive Director of the Florida Strawberry Growers Association, says any differentiation by state in labeling requirements is very challenging at the packer level for any commodity. The Louisiana strawberry season generally begins in December and peaks in March, with smaller volumes running through May and is concentrated in the eastern area of the state north of New Orleans.
Staying with the Louisiana labeling law, Greg Johnson now shares the Packer Editorial Board's opinion on the subject.
The buy local trend is under assault again from overreaching lawmakers. A new bill passed in Louisiana requires that all strawberries sold in the state have a farm of origin label on their packaging. The law applies to strawberries grown anywhere, not just in Louisiana. Louisiana leaders say the law will help the state's growers and consumers, but it will likely do the opposite. Out-of-state growers will pass on to consumers any changes they make to their packaging. If the state's consumers really want locally grown berries, a simple "Grown in Louisiana" label would do the trick, not this law. We shall refer to the Farm of Origin Labeling Law by its acronym, FOOL. This is Greg Johnson for the Packer Editorial Board.
Thanks, Greg. Last week, in an early version of the Packer TV, we identified Pete Hronis, Vice President and Sales Manager at Hronis Inc. in Delano, California, incorrectly. We're sorry about that, Pete.
And we hope that you, Pete, along with everyone else, has a fantastic 4th of July and that your barbecue tastes great and, of course, includes lots of produce.
Yummy. And remember, you can share the Packer TV with your friends and colleagues by clicking on the share options beside this video player.
And we'll be back next week for more industry news. We'll see you then.